Adishmama yamamu nyina adwo UTV so nie ye kase bo etwaton enadwo yi na edifi studios a worship house abeka junction eba ababeso mu ye ka mo say this chocolate drink and the coffee drink afi need fufu need abekwan ene special ice so ne special drink na ekure mo ye de kase bo no ebremo na nsem a ye de ebremo no etifi nsem bi ene say attorney general ayewura Dominic Ayine eda to just say Womei yemra samuno yemoho ban na yefanye amanyosem
Sanso edna opanyi ediato Ghana Bar Association for enim say yomo ekeka efa eye yetemu afo panyi ma metokonu asese yeyi na fini dibreso no akwaye se omode aye amanyosem
na ene yebedi nkomo mampani mahama ehye Ghana fo bo se wo ba na ban mu a obehwe kwan se galamsey no obetusu sa obeyefi okra Bosome nkunonie yehunu ne san ekuo bebere yakasa enche ye kira kudo bi ekoso na bisa se wo ko amampani mahama kanso beko edeta galamsey no wo ko na mpampa
na osofo wo hye amanone ensem so akasa afaye mapanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama nansen kwaye ofaso etukwan na oche mu se ma adehye nkekania omu enim waka ho asem yebekom
Ensemi ka na edeso mu se kaseba kenkanfo ye me eja kwabena mene
abna beyi nyano
afi kasebo ne musam ni Ghana Bar Association ayo mayi a lawyer for ku batan na omo enhyem de omu ko na bere bia no omo de ahyehye so na no na wo mayi yen attorney general me kire omayi abanko adubofo pani ene so afo hwe atante no nsam so no nyamfo Dr. Dominic Ayine ede to Ghana Bar Association for anim se Omuhwe kwanse yede emra a ye kasa ye emra no ye bobo emra no ho ban na oman ye emra pon constitution no so no niembe wo hu ne be adwuma pepepe na nkonkoba se wo bia beka de opebie sanse ebi asem bi ekoso a ogidi se nani enyi ho enti wo kire se ekoba ne se bebo ye pa ama oman emra pon constitution no atime ye adwuma yi se obi ye biribi na se constitution no ehia pepepe a mayen kasentia.
The relationship between law and politics in Ghana has always been intimate. Lawyers were central to the nationalist struggle, drafting petitions, leading debates, and championing the cause of independence. Since then, lawyers have been indispensable in shaping constitutional governance, whether in drafting the 1992 Constitution, defending human rights in times of crisis, or mediating in moments of national tension. Yet, our role in politics must be guided by principle, not partisanship. When lawyers descend into the arena of raw politics without restraint, we risk undermining the very foundation of our professional credibility. We must remember that our allegiance is first and foremost to the Constitution and this Republic, not to transient political interests. Over 3 decades have passed since the adoption of our Constitution. During this period, our Republic has tested and continues to test the resilience of its democratic institutions. In doing this, the Bar has played a crucial role in assisting the Supreme Court to interpret and enforce the Constitution. But outside the courtroom, the advocacy of the Bar as a professional group has lacked consistency, bringing into question its adherence to principle. The lawyer in politics must be a voice of reason, moderation, and constitutionalism. The Bar must speak out not to please governments or opposition parties, but to defend the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary, and the rights of the ordinary citizen. The Ghana Bar Association is not merely a professional body. It is a moral compass of the legal fraternity and a key pillar in the construction of our constitutional democracy.
Nasa dwumedie kro ya se na Dr. Dominic Ayine aban lawyer panyi esan edito aso se wo hye eye yetemu afo panyi maame Gertrude Isaba Tokonu ye aban eyi no efri ni dibre so a kwaya Ghana Bar Association fo eka ho nsem no akwakoye amanyosem wo se wo hye aban dada na pen so a enema bebre na ekoso saa pepepe na so omododo na ye kom we de ne de omatwe omani omano asi ho akyese omo ka omode ye amanyosem e na wo kire mu se eye mbra no so na empanyufo gina so a omode ye de omo ye nti no mo kan hunu se mbra e wo man ni mu nti no bibia a ekoso bia no omo entwa omani enhwe mbra nansa sense omo bekasa e de aye amanyosem.
When in 2015 an Article 146 petition was received by the Chief Justice in relation to the former chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Madame Loretta Lamte, the bar failed to speak out about process. In the run-up to the 2016 elections, the then opposition New Patriotic Party engaged the Electoral Commission in court battles over the voter identification system. This gave rise to the Abu Ramadan line of cases. Immediately upon assuming office in 2017, an Article 146 petition was filed for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, and her deputies from office. The bar saw no basis to speak out about compliance with due process. But in recent times, the bar found its voice when petitions based upon the same constitutionally defined procedures were brought in respect of the removal from office of the former Chief Justice, Mrs. Gertrude Araba Tokono. Ladies and gentlemen, the honest question we have to ask ourselves is, what changed? The three petitions aforementioned touch and concern office holders of three constitutional bodies critical to the sustenance of our democracy. The independence of the three institutions has been guaranteed by the Constitution. The three occupants were all women of significant repute and members of our noble profession. The three committees established pursuant to Article 146 complied with the constitutional procedure to the letter. And yet, the bar found its voice only in relation to the third petition. Coincidentally, the voice of the bar amplified the voice of the opposition.
Yada so Ghana Bar Association for Shem Kesi Omkoye na dwemtenani enu Ghana Bar Association oloyeni kunini efua gate na wode to mampani John Dramani Mahama nim se womoa se de be ya womone ekuo no mekyerɛ Ghana Bar Association for baka bom amamra aye adwuma na ye kabin mami so atumi akonanim.
Over the past 10 years, the bar has had the opportunity to engage with the arms of government, starting with the presidency. The entire Bar Council paid a courtesy call on the president on Wednesday, March 26th of this year, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. On that occasion, in reference to the bar, he remarked, and I quote, "You have been a strong advocate for the rule of law, respect for human rights, the Constitution, and freedoms. I believe that the role you play is important for our society to progress." These poignant words are indicative of his recognition of the bar's unique role and, by extension, his willingness to accommodate a vibrant and united bar that speaks truth to power. We are confident and trust that under his leadership, he will join hands with us in jealously guarding the rule of law, respecting human rights, and upholding both the letter and spirit of our Constitution. ASOA JSC reminded us in the landmark case of Amakotofo versus Attorney General, constitutional interpretation requires a broad and liberal spirit, not a narrow interpretation. It is only when we adhere to such admonition that the citizenry will experience true peace and progress. In our quest to continually put Ghana on an enviable pedestal, we may from time to time hold views that differ. But let me assure all and sundry that we will not be motivated by ill will, but solely by the conviction that the foundation of every nation rests on respect for the rule of law, and where every man and woman stands equal before the law.
Oswafo wo hye amanone ensem so onimunyamfo Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa akasa afansensem wa Ghanafo ni bi eka efa ye mampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kwan anansen ofaso etu kwan ko amanhodo so nenu na wo kyeremu se de ebinom eka se nansen ye mampanyi de commercial flight ne etu kwan na de ndi ontimi mfa luxury jet na ehun nsem bebre no kyeremu se ye mampanyi na emukura no commercial flight na wo use no won kan ho asem bia enha no na afin so mo de nhye mapa egu akwam nto besre se eniema aye enhu hia se na ya Ghanafo ensusunka.
President Mahama has not complained about commercial travels. I have seen some people say, oh, President Mahama spent 22 hours in Dubai, and they blame me for that. I saw a colleague of yours apologizing to President Mahama. That is because of me. That if President Mahama had his own way, he would have chartered a luxury jet. But because I'm foreign minister, he cannot do that. That is so unfair to President Mahama. That was just propaganda. It is not true. No president will be allowed to be stranded at an airport. Let us get serious and stop this childish propaganda. We have a consulate in Dubai. We have a full mission in UAE. I mean, you think that foreign service officials there will keep their job? If it comes to my attention that the commander-in-chief, our president, was allowed to be stranded at an airport in Dubai because he couldn't charter a jet. Please, let's credit the Ghanaian people with some discernment and some modicum of wisdom. It's just propaganda. Some people clearly want to justify certain actions of the past and whitewash. I still maintain that when our presidential jet is in good condition, in pristine condition, let me use the word which has become very famous. People speak as though I created that word. When our presidential jet is in pristine condition, it is not right to be chartering £18,000, $20,000 an hour charter jet. We come into public office to protect the purse and to do our best to be measured and
a friend coalition against Galamsey Edia to Mampeni Mohammed him saying ya state of emergency ofantu mi ahodo a etu Galamsey me wa say na ye hu bibia enye you know say wo hwe bia na duro na esese ye mia ye nipa na ye de emra na ye adwuma de ensem dwom tinani e de ma ekono Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe and ode tuja.
The following demands of government in response to the president's statement on deploying a state of emergency as last resort. 1. By Article 31(9)(a) and (b), the circumstances under which a state of emergency may be declared include the current Galamsey situation, in which the actions being taken by the environmental criminals are calculated to deprive large communities of potable water, which is an essential of life. It also renders necessary the taking of measures which are required for securing the public safety, the defense of Ghana, and the maintenance of public order and of supplies and essentials to the life of the community. This text I have written did not come from anywhere. We are paraphrasing actually a constitutional provision. We are beyond the last resort. And His Excellency, Mr. President, please, you should immediately declare a state of emergency. And again, we are very clear about it. In parts of the country, not in all of the country, not in the entire district, but in parts of the country that are required to save Ghanaians as prescribed by the Constitution. A constitution you have agreed to uphold. The president must provide the nation with milestones and timelines to serve as a guide for continued action and demonstration of the government's commitment.
Enche bia ena Asante Achim North Mrashe Bedwani Ohene Kwame Frimpong onimunyamfo ede betu dwa se wo ba ne mpeswa so ho no mo a eye akuafo a omo eye ntosi ni jenefuo ni nkume mu no wotimu so mo fa ohawa wudo kakra mu na enam so amasamra ye kase ye mampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ede atodwa se hu behia se ye bema anase ye di ntosi ni jene dodo na ebekọ honom na eye ntoaso osuku sahodo honom no betimi enya bidie no anuane se de beya enkonkofa pressure bebre enko ekuafo no so esan ohawa nansen omo enya ne nto panyi akasa abotwem se mampanyi ayade
oye bebre di Asante Achim North enei ye pese wo ye bibi ma Asante Achim North ekoso kaiwo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama humi mobo Asante Achim North Ohene Kwame Frimpong menim ekuafo yi abusiafo high Asante Achim North ba bia ejina sisi ye agogo na ye hwe fefe a ekuafo ejina ha yi a harvest here na chere say Asante Achim North ye obibi enche bebre na great minister Rukupoku one the deputy miaminia honorable John Dumelo eba Asante Achim North be share bo so meboa yen ampa enso na no honorable Rukupoku omo mame fertilizer 1000 bags ama be che bia makuafo
honorable Ohene Kwame Frimpong eye video bia na sabio akuafo a ewo ne constituency a wo madua tomato adua onions na wo mutwa adwadwo se wo munya atofo na video ni beto dwa no na osre ye papa His Excellency the President na nra ekopie na kache ama wa hyese no ba ya wo ma ado ne afudi a apie mu nyina no aban enhwe na wontoma secondary schools no na wo mo emfa ema enkwala no sebio ntoso no wontimi emfa ne raw sa emfa ntu kwan sometimes one hwe ya ode beduru na ebi abobo anase ebi asai eti no aban ehwe se ye be mini processing plants sa mini processing plants no areas a wo do sa noba ye wo do ntoso pa no na mini processing plant ni bi akọ se de be nipa no otwa ni ntoso na sabio of person take advantage of the price regime wo betimi kra akọ processing into puri said e be ma value na akosoro no watimi anya sika bebre ewo mu enti no sa processing units ne so ye be very crucial for areas a wo mo yes antosi oba Volta region, Southern Belt wo nyina Eko Ashanti region, Eastern region o nyina ye tomato growing belt Oko Northern region near friend Sudan Savannah region na Guinea Savannah sa areas wo nyina obo se ohon momudua ntos esremu omudua ntos eti sa areas ni nyina na yesi yetimi hwe kwan ebetimi abo mo eno ho na nanka yesi palugu fatia ye nyina ye ni meho asemka a ekopie mu a ene aban ehwe se yebetimi ede na asi ho na yahye kina na factory na timi aba na abebo asremfo na omoye ntos ne so but you believe say as mini processing plants si yetimi deployer ebebo bebre ama ekuafo ho ahenhan omo na omanya omo ebre ho faso se de be omo so betimi de bi ahwe omo busua na ebi akoma no
bra won no tomatoes da wo hu ukona tomatoes abrea
efe o hwe wo ni so crowns efe pa efe
nti umuntu ma wo anya ho nkwame ahodo bebrem dia tomatoes no ani je ni eburu am say nanse na mehwe ba ko bi social media eburu so boto na boto na say 500 Ghana cedis also eburu boto for me ahodo bi shiko bagan come here ijawa abraham ko
abuziafo ye gina ha ne ahome kase ebo no so ye ba ode ye de fa etoso mienu na ye nkomotwetwe no beto so ama mo galamse nsem ya se de nkrofo esi mampanyin so se onyere ne ho ne kon onyere ne ho no ye kwa aba na ye de ho nkomo